this is Michael Lodge. I am the business advisor. Well, you want to know what the weather is outside? It's cold, wet, and wet. Cold and wet. And about 50-some degrees. So it's going to be one of those kind of days where it's nice to just stay inside and stay warm. I mean, it's a homey day. I am a day off. I've been so involved in taking all these tests and everything, continuing education courses, and I studied all weekend and finally got it all done on Monday. But I'm since I worked over the weekend, I've lost day. I thought today was Tuesday, and so I went out taking my garbage out. No one else was out there except me, and then I looked at my phone, and it was Wednesday. I am off schedule. That's what happens when you get busy on the weekend. You don't take a weekend off and you forget that it's Saturday and Sunday, and then you run everything together and it becomes it just gets all confusing. I'm getting old. I tell you, I look at myself in the mornings in the mirror and I said, oh my gosh, you're getting old. Your hair is gray. Your memory's going. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Life is funny. 1 minute you're young, and the next minute you just can't hardly get around. Well, anyway. Listen, over the next, from now until, as of November 1st until December, we are going to be talking about something you should be paying attention to. And it's so vital, it's so important, because now is the time, and it's the most important time to be doing it. I wonder what you think I'm going to say. Well, here it is, because I talk about it all the time, and I bug you guys about it all the time. So now I get to bug you about doing something for 2023. And so it goes kind of like this. Taxes and budgeting. Taxes and budgeting. Now, I always tell you guys on taxes that October, November, and December gives you time to sit down with your tax advisor and go over the preliminary numbers for 2022 filing. Okay? It's an important part of your life. That's why you pay these guys money to get sound advice on your taxes. And if you own a business, especially now, if you own a small business and you're filing a Schedule C, it's good now to start working on a income statement so you know what your income is and what your expenses are, so that you can finally prepare that final tax return for 2022. And you should have it all done, basically. When December comes along, you should do your final December one, and you should be done with it, and you should be able to file your tax return. Minus all the W-2s and everything else that come rolling in, the 1099s, the 1099 INTs, and the miscellaneouses, and all these forms that come zooming in. But now it is so important for you to sit down with your tax advisor and go over your situation. And if you don't do it, you're going to be stuck in 2020, filing 2022, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, how did I miss that deduction? Why am I paying so much in taxes? Look at the legitimate deductions. In fact, from November 1st until December, we are going to go through, especially for the small business people out there, we are going to go through what are legitimate income, what is legitimate expenses, because I'm telling you, we've got to be right on the money, and you've got to be able to substantiate those numbers, because the IRS has a whole new team behind them of 87,000 auditors or tax people, and they're going to start looking at your stuff, because now there's more of them that can do that. So I want you to understand that taxes is very important. You never want to get behind or delinquent on your taxes with the federal or with your state. Now, if you're in Florida, you don't have to worry about it because there's no state income tax. Texas and Washington and what are some others? Nevada, all these states that don't have a tax, state tax, you're lucky there. But on the federal, and if you live in a state that has a federal and state tax, you need to start planning for it right now. And there are a whole bunch of things out there that you can use. Maybe some of you are good at sitting down and putting together an Excel spreadsheet. As a matter of fact, if you are a small business, I have a spreadsheet. Well, I'll give you the link to it down below. If you own a small business, you can identify what your income is and your expenses. So that's there for you to use for free. And I would suggest it. If you have any questions, you can send me an email at info@lodge-co.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have on taxation, okay? I mean, that's what I am, as a tax advisor. I hate preparing tax returns. I said 4 years ago, no, it's been 5 years ago, when I shut down my offices in California and moved out to the East Coast, I said, I don't want to prepare any more tax returns. Unfortunately, there are some people who still want me to prepare their tax returns, and I like them. They're my friend. I will do it. We have a good relationship. But other than that, I don't prepare any new individual client tax returns. I do some new business, because I love doing business tax returns. I love that more than well, I can't say coffee, because I love coffee more than taxes. So I don't have a good example there to use. But the issue is that there's an Excel spreadsheet there ready for you to use, and I'll give you the link down below. It's in my website, and I'll give you the link down below, and you can click on that, and you can go to that Excel spreadsheet. But listen, it's very important right now for you to do that. Now, what's the other conversation we're going to have today? Well, what is this? We are now ending 2022, and we're going into 2023. So guess what else is your responsibility to do? That's right, to sit down and prepare your budget for next year. You pretty much know what your expenses are. So now you can sit down and prepare your budget. And this, again, is vital for you to do. I'm sorry, I'm having to put you on mute because I for some reason I've got this cough in my chest. I get it every single winter when we get all this fall stuff going on. But anyway, the budgeting for 2023 is so important because this is what's going to control your spending. Now, let me tell you this, okay? I don't want just one of you doing it. If you are married or if you have a significant other, and you need to prepare your budget, do it together. It's called being joint. Being jointly. So listen, it's so very important because we have a recession that's here, and it's hit us, and it's hit us hard. We've got all this inflated pricing. Now we've got to think about, okay, what can we do for 2023 so that we can start paying down our debt, and we can put some money in the bank, and we can also start acting like adults and really control our money. So listen, I've got a link for that. It's another free spreadsheet that I've put together. It's there for you to use. It is no charge, no nothing. So just use these spreadsheets I give you. It's a link down below and you'll see it. But the budgeting process has to start right now. Because you've got to think very clearly, how are we going to plan for 2023? Is there enough money that we can put away for retirement? Is there enough money that we can pay down that student loan? Is there enough money to get the car payment completely paid off? I mean, we have all of these things that we need to think about, right? Or maybe we need to start building up that emergency fund. Yes, an emergency fund. It's vital. I use the word vital a lot because it is. That emergency fund is going to be able to help you instead of whipping out that credit card when an emergency comes along. A tire blew out and you need a new tire. Well, now you've got $1,000 in the bank that you put in there to take care of that emergency fund. Or maybe a tooth needs to be pulled and it's going to be a deductible. Emergency funds are a vital part of our life. I'm sorry, I'm having to press that mute button a lot this morning, and I apologize. You know, this is not a professional show, okay? I don't have a producer. I don't have writers. I don't have production people. I don't have anybody. It's just me. And as I sit here in my office, I'm watching my controls. I'm watching how much time I have left. I'm watching how my microphone is picking up my voice. I'm looking at music that I'm going to play next. I'm doing it all. So I don't have time to sit back and edit this. This is live, and it's brought to you exactly how I record it. There's no cuts, cutaways, or anything else, except when I put you on mute, like this. So I apologize. I'm not that professional. I'm not a professional broadcaster. Even though in college I did take radio and television broadcasting as an elective. It was one of those elective courses I took out. And so I used to always be, on the weekends, I always had a spot on KGTS radio up in Walla Walla, Washington. And I would be there on Saturdays. And I would play the most boring music, symphonic music, religious music. No top of the art. It was just the plain old music. And it's kind of hard to be exciting when you're playing symphonic music. I mean, you can't get down with the groove. But here, I just sit in front of my microphone, and I'm looking outside my window, and I'm watching the weather, and I'm talking to you as if you are sitting right across from me. I wish that you were able to ask me questions as I'm doing this. But let's face it, you probably would not want to see me at this time of the morning with a baseball cap on, coffee dribbling out of my mouth, because you know I'm old. That's how it is. So now you've got 2 assignments, okay? Sit down with your tax guy or girl and start preparing your budgeting. Because you know better than anybody else where you stand on your budgeting process. You know what your expenses are, or you should. If you don't, this will be a good exercise. And if you need help, just send me an email at info@lodge-co.com, and I'll answer that question for you. We have got to be responsible because our government is out of control. The government has no idea how to spend money. They have no idea how to collect money. They have no idea. Congress is sitting there saying, oh my gosh, we've got $2 trillion we can spend. What are we going to spend it on? Oh my gosh. Let's spend it on that new statue in front of the Washington Monument that says, I don't know. I give up because government has become so out of control and they spend so much money, and that's why we're in this situation today, because of mismanagement in Congress and also in the White House. The White House is even worse. Those are your 2 assignments for this weekend. You know, you have this week up until this weekend to sit down, pull up those Excel spreadsheets and use them, go through them, ask me any questions that you have, and I will answer you. This is Mike Lodge. God bless every single one of you. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye, my peeps.